When last seen, Dennis Quaid was injected into the bloodstream of Martin Short. This has got to be the most preposterous setup for a plot I've ever seen. When you first read the story synopsis of this, was that your reaction too?
I first read this when I was in Sydney, Australia, and they sent it over, and I said, sounds like a good, dumb, intelligent, stupid comedy, and which is something I really wanted to do, actually, harking back to the days of Laurel and Hardy or whatever. And I wanted to do something where I didn't have to take myself seriously, and that's the reason I like the script.
And what a challenge, too, when you think about it, because the majority of the time, you're sealed up inside this little bathysphere, or whatever it is.
You don't have to remind me of that, yeah.
We'll get to that in a second, but I mean, you've got to go through a whole range of emotions, keep our attention, build your character, and not move. I think that'd be tough.
Well,
that'd be tough.
Well, I was in the pod, but the challenge of that was to find within an enclosed space about the size of this chair how to find enough different things that I could do.
Exactly.
And enough different types of movement to where it wouldn't become boring over a 2-hour period, hopefully.
It's a little harder to improvise in a sealed-off environment like that, too. A little harder to use props and you know.
Well, we came up with all kinds of things I could carry with me, you know, like McDonald's Chicken McNuggets and stuff like that. So
I wondered about that. What about the claustrophobic aspect of it? You seemed to hint a moment ago that maybe that was a little rough.
No, it wasn't really rough at all. I was in that pod for about, 8 hours a day or something like that. But it was, actually, I was dreading it before we got to it, but it turned out to be a lot of fun.
It seemed to be a bit of a running gag throughout the picture that at no time did you stop and say, I'm in a human body. You seem to be all business. You know, this is the way it is. This is just a new environment to be flying in.
That's the way pilots mostly are anyway.
Yeah. Was that an intentional kind of thing then? That's the way he would have handled it?
No.
It just worked out that way. As far as the special effects are concerned, I guess most of the time you were just looking into a blue screen or something like that, eh?
Yeah, I had to imagine a lot of things. They were pretty good about, like, sometimes, you know, running film over my head, you know, that was red, you know, like the bloodstream, so I could get the feeling that I was actually traveling through. But it was pretty much, for me, because it was before the special effects were put in, I had to just imagine in my head what was going on.
Talk about another special effect, standing naked in San Francisco. Yeah.
I didn't do
Was it cold?
No, well, yeah, towards the afternoon it was, but, I mean, standing naked in San Francisco, what's so unusual about that?
Let's go ahead and inject you into the bloodstream of maybe a close one, a relative or a loved one or a friend or a politician or something. Who might it be and where would you go once you're inside?
Oh, really?
Don't you think we're all going to come out kind of, Now, if I could go inside a human body like that, where would I head for?
Where would you head for? I don't know. See, some people, you could go to their brain, but you'd find nothing there. Some people, I really can't tell you.
It's neat because we carry that kind of concept out with us, out of the theater, I think, and start to wonder.
Well, this movie harkens back to Fantastic Voyage with Raquel Welch.
Right.
Richard Basehart, I think it was. I've forgotten. But they took themselves seriously in that. Now, hopefully, this is a comedy.
And a bittersweet one at that, especially near the end. There's some nice dynamics among the three of you. Kind of unusual, don't you think?
We had a great time. Me and Marty and Meg. It was the movie is really about relationships as well as the special effects, and ultimately that's what makes it work.
Did the two of you ever think about what would have happened had you reversed the roles?
What, Marty?
He be the pilot and you be the host.
Yeah. Well, when I read the script in Sydney, Australia, like I said, I wanted to play Jack. I like the name Jack, and it's a great role. But ultimately, I think the two people become like one in the same person.
Indeed.
In a way, because they become more like each other.
And you kind of mimic each other's motions and all of that too. The dancing, especially.
Yeah. Right.
Tell us about your brother. What's happening now with Randy?
Randy did LBJ, the story of LBJ, and which I was really proud of him for doing, and I think he's going to get the Emmy for it. He should get the Emmy for it. Otherwise, there's no justice. And
the two of you working together in Long Riders, and of course in
we did
True
play
West.
True West together for about 8 months.
What can one learn about a brother that one doesn't already know after a situation like that?
Just how hard he really can hit, and it was like being 9 and 13 on stage again. There was a lot of stuff like bing, this stuff, you know.
Right.
So after doing that for 6 months, it gets a little testy, and but at the same time, you really get to know one another real well.
What holds the two of you guys together through thick and thin, especially in a pressure cooker situation like that?
With that, the fact that we had to be there.
Sure.
We kept each other together. Randy and I really love each other. We're closer than most brothers would be, I would think.
I'm going to close this off now by wondering if maybe at the heart of Innerspace there isn't a basic message that we need to see the world through another person's eyes to kind of get a better grip on who we are. I mean, I know.
Yeah, I think so. I think the basic message is that what you're trying to say, if you want to put that theme to it, is that we really can change our lives, and we really can become that we want to become.
I think especially too for professional people who get locked into jobs, supermarkets. You are a test pilot. Sometimes to step out of that a little bit, not a bad lesson in life.
Yeah.
If you were going to step out of acting for a while, go away somewhere to something else, what would it be?
Probably a gas station attendant in
Really?
Easton, Montana. Yeah.
Why?
Just seems like I love it up there. That's why.
The country as much as anything. Okay, Dennis Quaid. Good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
And he is in Innerspace. And from Austin, Texas, I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV5.